Birthday How, birthday Yasharahla, birthday How, birthday Yasharahla, birthday How, birthday Yasharahla, Kolam La, Adanawa How, Basham Shamalak Yashar, Basham Kakadash, the Banas of the Pasta, Elsmere Millstone, Peace Citation, Hope for Elect, Shalom. And as you can see in the title of this article, it says Queens man held girl, 15, captive, beat and raped her for months. And this was an article posted about 3 days ago. And it says the story contains graphic details. Viewer caution is advised. Usually I'll see viewer discretion is advised, but that should show you alone that, you know, times is really getting serious when you see that viewer discretion advised, and seeing that how these men are just really just giving into those demons that they have, and they really are putting judgment upon you women, you know, and they're doing it to the young woman and the old woman as well. But let me go along with this video. It's just only a minute, so then I'll read a little bit in the article. Well, I could read the whole article because it's not really that much in writing anyway.
Is behind bars for an alleged trio of sex crimes and faces a long list of charges, including rape, sexual abuse, and kidnapping. According to the Queens DA's office, Portilla first abused a 15-year-old girl who he invited to live with him in September in East Elmhurst. Over the course of approximately 5 months, investigators say Portilla beat the girl with a wrench, causing permanent disfigurement, and raped her multiple times in his car, threatening to hurt her if she got out. On December 16th, police say a second victim, also 15, was in Portilla's car in Forest Hills when he locked the doors and told her she wasn't getting out. The victim was reportedly blindfolded and raped in the backseat of the car where the first injured victim was being held. Portilla reportedly met his third victim just after midnight on New Year's Day in Long Island City, offering her a phone charger in his car. When the 21-year-old got in, police say Portilla locked the doors and sped off to a secluded location where she was raped, beaten, and held hostage for 4 days. The woman went to police when Portilla let her go, and officers arrested him on January 6th. In a statement, Queens DA Melinda Katz said, quote, "It is hard to put into words the brutality inflicted upon these poor girls. The defendant is remanded into custody as requested by my office."
So that alone shows you right there that you women gonna start needing to seek a man, because these times are really getting crazy, and y'all still thinking out there that y'all don't need a man and all this other shit. A lot of men just don't give a fuck at this point. They can still get arrested and still be put on the news for shit like this. So imagine when Jacob's Trouble really happens and you women are pretty much single out there. Imagine what will happen. Let me start off with the article. It says Queens, Pix 11-8. Queens man allegedly held a 15-year-old girl captive for months, raping her and 2 others over that span of time, officials said Thursday. Andres Portilla, 28, allegedly met the teen around September 1st and invited her to live with him, according to the criminal complaint. In the weeks that followed, he allegedly beat the teen and hit her with a wrench. He also allegedly stabbed the teen in the leg. Portilla allegedly moved the teen into his vehicle around November 1st and refused to let her leave, according to the court documents. From then until January 6th, Portilla allegedly beat and raped the teen in the car in various locations around Queens. At one point in November, Portilla allegedly cut the teen's lip. On December 16th, with the first teen still in his car, Portilla allegedly picked up another 15-year-old girl near 64th Road and Grand Central Parkway Service Road, according to a criminal complaint. He allegedly locked her into the car and told her she wasn't getting out. Portilla allegedly told the second teen to get into the back seat, where the first injured teen was already located. Then raped the just picked up teen. Court documents show it is unclear how long the second teen was held in the car, but NYPD Chief of Detectives James Essig told the New York Post she was released at some point before Portilla allegedly targeted a third victim. On January 1st, Portilla offered to let a 21-year-old woman use a charger for his phone in his vehicle near Queens Plaza South and 27th Street. Officials said he allegedly locked the doors the moment she got inside, took the woman's phone, and sped off. The trapped woman could see the bleeding teen who'd been with Portia since September in the back seat of the car, according to the criminal complaint. Portia allegedly demanded oral sex, and when the woman refused, he hit her in the face with a wrench. Court documents show he threatened to hit her again if she refused or tried to leave. For the next few days, Portia allegedly held the woman in the car, threatened to hurt her and her family. He's accused of repeatedly raping her during those days. Portia released the woman on January 4th, telling her to lie to her family and to the police about what happened, according to a criminal complaint. He allegedly said he would find her family members and hurt them since he knew where she lived. Initially, the woman told her family and police that nothing had happened. Officials said she'd been with friends. The next day, she shared what had happened to her and was taken to a hospital. Portia was spotted with the first teen he kidnapped at 83rd Street and 25th Avenue on January 6th, officials said. He was arrested and the teen was taken to a hospital. Police charged Portia with rape, kidnapping, assault, unlawful imprisonment, and acting in a manner injurious to a child. Officials said he has 15 prior arrests. Police released a picture of Portia and an image of a car in their search for more information. He's been arraigned and was remanded into custody at the request of Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz's office. And quote, it's hard to put into words the brutality inflicted upon these poor girls, Katz said. Yeah. Yeah, that really shows you right there. And then the fact that he got to know where her address is and saying that he would threaten her family, that alone shows you that you woman having these daughters and you kicking the man out the house, you need that man in your house for protection. You see? You living in a home and it's just full of women in there. And then you got a predator that's a couple of men or just one man himself going outside to get into your home. And if he just successfully happens to break in and invade your home, he could easily overpower y'all. But I'll bring out some scriptures to the Spirit, and Lord willing, make this lesson edifying for you hopeful out there. Isaiah 32 verse 9 says, Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman. Wasn't that woman troubled for, a few days? Was she troubled for like a couple of days or so? Being held hostage from that guy. And, he also raped her as well as holding her hostage, and he beat her and those other women and abused them. That shows you right there that these are the times that we coming into. And he could still get arrested, which he did, and, still go to jail for committing such acts. But these men really don't care. They're taking risks and they're doing whatever's pleasing their soul. And then Jacob's trouble, the time when no more 911, no more police out there. When police gotta worry about taking care of their families and themselves. And when there's just no more law and order and society's in complete chaos, what are you women gonna really do in that day? And it says, for the venture shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, you women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruit of vine. Yeah. Because you're going to be reminiscing about all the good shit that y'all used to have in your times, when you was pretty much like experiencing the benefits of this kingdom, Basically, you getting protection, you getting government benefits, thinking that you don't need a man. And the protection you have is the courtroom, like the family court shit. When you want to put your man on divorce and all that bullshit. Pretty much the police, that's their protection as well. And you basically look to Esau's system and you look up to his, his laws and shit and thinking that you women are safe. And very soon, he's gonna fail you women, and he's gonna eventually turn against y'all. And very soon, when this society crash, and he pretty much turns against you, a lot of you Israelite women, just women in general, I'll say, he's gonna pretty much have y'all left out there stranded. And then at that point, you're gonna really need a man in that day. Let me bring out more precepts. And in Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 30 says, when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face in painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair, which is beautiful. When you look at the etymology of the word fair, like in the Strong's Blue Letter Bible, and it says, thy lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life. For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and an anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child, the voice of the daughter of Zion, that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, woe is me now, for my soul is weary because of murderers. And exactly, that man had, I'll say he had that intentions that coming from an evil man, He could have potentially murdered her too, beating her with a wrench, hitting her face. And I seen another article, if you pretty much like search up that article, like they mentioned that he hit her in the face. I think they said that she had her teeth to be damaged because of that as well, in one of the articles. And I was like, wow, that's pretty a dangerous thing to get hit by a wrench, and especially in the face, because the face is the most delicate part of the body, and for that to be to take that amount of damage from a wrench in that part of your body, there's some excruciating pain. And we're talking about a man swinging the wrench, so that really shows you, like, you women need to really get your shit together, because a lot of shit going down in New York alone, in New York City, In Ecclesiastes, so the book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 23, it says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. Exactly. And when it's coming to this wicked woman, that's exactly what they're getting paired up with, is wicked men, and let's just say, there's a match out there for everyone, and in this case, let's say this wasn't like a match in the sense where they had a successful relationship. This is like a pretty much like a judgment, so to say. And this guy had no intentions of dealing with these women in the right way. Nah, his intention was to pretty much have them as his concubines and to inflict them and hold them hostage. So, and you have a lot of men that they're starting to develop that type of mindset, and there's going to be more men like that, because this whole society is just set up to basically destroy any pretty much like aspiration that a man has. This whole society was all based upon empowering the woman so that she could pretty much be in that gender warfare fighting against the man. And that's pretty much what it's all about. And a lot of men are getting sick and tired, and you're going to see more men even men that you thought that were, they're just going to eventually give in to their evil intentions, and they're just going to say to hell with this, and they're going to end up doing exactly the same thing that this guy did, or even worse. Because it's coming to a time where, these evils are starting to get worse and worse, and these women, that have been screwing men's lives, pretty much, not only screwing their lives over, but the fact that they waste another man's time and playing around with other men and playing the harlot as well, and it seems like they're getting away with it. The Most High got a judgment for y'all, for y'all women. And he's using men just like this to send that judgment, And do I feel bad for these women? Hell fucking no. Nope. Not at all. I mean, when I just saw the article, I was like, yeah, wow. I was like, this is why a woman needs to get right. That should be a wake-up call to women like them, for them experiencing some shit like that. They shouldn't even dare try to fuck around with guys. And shit, by the time these women, once they reach, let's say, the age of 12 or 13 or whatever in middle school, they're fucked up in the head already a lot of the times, because of all this Western influence in the media, and the music, entertainment, all that shit is just pretty much fucking up their heads. So, or even when they enter into high school, they start becoming fucked up, sometimes. And one of those girls was in the age of high school, being 15. I think the other one was like, I think so one of them was like 20. And you already know, like, if they're the age of 20, they already have a fucked up mindset already, and it's just gonna get worse from there. And those women, whatever happened to them, that was judgment from the Lord. The Lord said, no one perishes being innocent. Everyone reaps what they sow. And scriptures say all wickedness is little to the wickedness of a woman. And it tells you that in the book of Sirach, chapter 25. So, no matter what, they're not innocent for what they did, for what happened to them. And more things like this will happen, all for the simple fact that, these women want to continue to be wicked and continue to ruin men's lives, trying to follow after the ways of the serpent, which is the so-called white man. And in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 33 says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Right. And it says, and the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So, that's obviously talking about, in the time of Jacob's trouble, where men are going to be out in World War III, dying out there on the battlefield, and forcefully getting drafted. And then eventually these women are going to be out here, a lot of them are pretty much single in general, and thinking that they don't need a man so that they could live their adulterous lifestyle. And when the time of Jacob's trouble hits, they're going to realize how important a man is in their life. And we're not just talking about any man, we're talking about, a man of the Lord. That's the man that they're really going to truly request for. And because it tells you in the book of Isaiah, 13th chapter, that, the Most High will make a man more precious than fine gold, even, more than a golden wedge of Ophir. So that's how precious a man is going to be to a woman in that day. Because a man of the Lord with spiritual power, with divine protection from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, a woman is going to need that. in these days to come, just to protect them from predators like this, you know, just to protect them from any destruction that the Lord's finna send on this country, Babylon, which is America. You know, it tells you in Isaiah 32 verse 2. And then also in Isaiah chapter 3 verse 25, it kind of goes along with this precept. It corresponds with 2 Ezra 16, 33, verse 33 and verse 34. It corresponds with it, where it says in Isaiah chapter 3 verse 25 that how, you know, that the men shall die in the war, and then that she being desolate shall set upon the ground. Because there's going to be a lot of wars out there. Not only, you know, World War III drafts, them having to fight on the battlefield. Men are going to be out there fighting these race wars that happen in the cities. You know, they're going to be fighting against like certain races, certain people of certain religions, you know, even social class wars. Things like that is going to happen, you know. And pretty much like you're going to have the woman basically being stranded and left out. And they're going to have a lot of men, because there's already a gender warfare, and you're going to have a lot of men that they're going to be sick and tired of these women. They already hate these women already being part of this, let's just say, they follow a lot after red pill and even black pill, following after, like, you know, MGTOW related groups. You're going to have a lot of men from those groups eventually coming out to put judgment on you women for ruining their lives. They're already building that hatred against you women. How much more when they get the green light to put judgment on y'all. And that's something that they're going to be thanking the Most High that they have that time to lay their hands on you and have their way with you. Because, yeah, those things will happen in Jacob's trouble. And ain't nobody going to save you unless the Most High sends someone to save you. And that's if you're the 1/3. That's if you're the elected woman to be saved. And even some of them women that are the 1/3, some of them will have to go to certain tribulations before they get saved. You know, if the Most High has mercy on you as a woman to be the 1/3. And that's a 1 in a million chance. Probably even 1 in 100 million when I see these wicked ass American women. But with that, who may listen, edifying, let's get all glory, praise, and honor to Adonai, Yahweh, Bashem, Shem, Yahweh, Bashem, Kakadash, the honor to the apostle, Elizabeth Millstone, peace, I teach, and hope for that. Yahweh, Shem, Shai, Babak, Shah, Shalak, Rayam, Adawanyam, Wakwayam, Wa Abba, Shalom.